Looking at the 2015 capital budget for the new year, it's important to remember that these items are funded from a variety of sources: riverboat, LIT, bond issues, and other state and federal reimbursements. As riverboat funds are the primary source of funding for the CIP, the 2015 projection is based off discussions, as I said earlier, with Tropicana. We anticipate a $600,000 decrease over the 2013 baseline, which is slightly better than this year's decrease. The proposed 2015 CIP includes the following highlights: the addition of 30 police cars through a lease. After reviewing lease options, we found that this would be the most financially feasible, most economically feasible. The addition of a new fire, or the replacement of a fire truck, a pumper truck, includes $1.8 million in road paving, Phase 1 infrastructure of Roberts Park, which I'll get into in just a little bit, $500,000 for demolition of abandoned buildings, plus $140,000 for trash removal, and $40,000 to maintain our rodent control efforts. For METS, the city proposes leveraging more than $290,000 of local money to secure over $2 million in state and federal money for new vehicles and equipment. And at the zoo, we propose using capital fund toward improvements at the Clay Building and continued renovations at the Asian Barn. Should also mention that this year we funded the design of a new carousel and aviary at the zoo. The zoo is now starting the quiet phase of raising private dollars to fund that. Even with these expenditures, in 2015, the balance of the riverboat account will remain about $11.7 million, with $6 million unencumbered. LIT has a balance of $6 million with about $3 million unencumbered. I'd like to spend just a few minutes talking about other projects and initiatives, specifically Roberts Park, Mesker Park Amphitheater, public information access and engagement, and something that's called Shot Spotter. Okay, first to Roberts Park. Past two master plans have recommended green space at the Roberts Stadium site. When talking to Alta, the consultants that are conducting the new master plan, they concur that the recommendation will remain. We've had great citizen feedback, whether it was during the public hearings for the Roberts Stadium site task force or unveiling of the initial drawings of Roberts Park. Public support has been vocal. In addition, Roberts Park has consistently been mentioned in the voice sessions, and our office routinely gets questions about when this project will start. As you know, Wellborn Foundation gave the city a $150,000 planning grant. It is anxious to see that progress is made there. Our deadline for that is September. And the unique opportunity that exists is not just with Roberts Park, not just with that one parcel of land where the stadium once stood. We also envision improvements to Westland Park, whether it's the addition of public gardens, changes to the par 3 golf course, or improved sports courts. Trails connecting Wesselman with Roberts Park and the State Hospital grounds have excited runners, walkers, and bicyclists around our community. Enhanced connectivity will be made possible later this year when construction begins on a crosswalk over the Lloyd Expressway at Van. Again, that project is slated to begin this fall and open in 2015. Two other items to note here on community partnerships. We're really excited that the Rotary Club of Evansville has committed $100,000 to a water feature at Roberts Park. They have made this commitment. I think the last I heard, they had almost $60,000 in the bank, and they are committed to seeing that through. The other thing I think is really exciting to note is that in the private sector, we've gone out and raised $1.5 million for improvements to the Westland Nature Center. We already have a new entrance underway there. They'll soon start construction of a 1.5 acre kidscape, but all the improvements at the Nature Center funded through private contributions. Talk a little bit about the dog park, the proposed dog park. It was one of the most mentioned items in all of our public discussions, and not because it was a source of opposition either. But the original placement inside Roberts Park did cause some concern to folks, and so we took note of that. We assembled a stakeholder group and determined that the ideal location was in a parcel of land owned by the state of Indiana. actually on the south side of the Lloyd Expressway on the grounds of the State Hospital. We went to Indianapolis, we talked to the administration, and we talked to the legislative body, and we were able, because of legislative changes, we were able to acquire the 8 to 10 acres that we needed. And so we, in just a matter of weeks, will actually take title to that additional ground. We've been meeting with dog enthusiasts, and our goal is to, again, raise money privately for a destination dog park that will actually also have educational elements as well, and a connection to our animal control department. It's very exciting, and we hope to be able to move quickly with design and fundraising. Again, we will really focus on doing this through the private sector. This is just a conceptual design for the water feature that the Rotary Club, they are very committed to this. I'm frequently asked by members of the Rotary how we stand on the progress of this effort. So I'm very pleased that they have made the commitment that they have in such a public fashion to fund this. Just give you a little bit of an idea on the phases of Roberts Park. Jeff Justice and his team at Hafer & Associates have led the design team. They've led all the public forums and developed the proposal that you've seen in this meeting and in others. As we've said from the beginning, we do not want to overly burden the budget with one project in any given year, so that's why we have said from the beginning that this will be done in phases. And whether this plan is ultimately executed in the phases that we have seen that are laid out solely depends on the funding that becomes available either through private money or public money. Regardless of the amenities, basic infrastructure must be done on the site, and you can see there the phases that we have laid out: phase 1, phase 2, again 4 phases. As I said earlier, we'd like to make some other changes eventually at Westman Park, including a new and improved entrance at Bakey Road, better connectivity from Westman Park to Roberts Park, a public garden on the site of Westman's, improved parking, improved sports courts, and a multi-purpose field which would be north of Swander, improvements to the restroom and shelter house, and some improvements to the par 3 golf course as well. I'd like to speak briefly about the Mesker Amphitheater. Again, the conditions were deplorable. I would say they still are. In 2012, we made the decision to close the facility. In November of 12, a consultant came back and recommended that we would need a minimum investment of $9.7 million to reopen. We thought that was pretty hefty at the time, so we've left it as is. The plan going forward is essentially to spruce up the exterior, eliminate the eyesore, create a better storage facility for the chairs that are there, and create a citizen involvement process that would be led by the zoo. The bottom line is that we want to clean up the eyesore and better store the chairs that are outside, and long term we understand that the public must be involved in the process to determine what future investments are made there. We're very excited about our improvements to public information access. Through collaboration with the city clerk, the mayor's office, the commissioner's office, and our new CIO, a new interactive tool for boards and commissions has been identified. This interactive portal, which you see a screenshot of here, will give citizens the ability to check vacancies on boards, commission appointments, access information related to eligibility requirements, view specific meeting agendas, and contact information for current board members. We will also simplify the appointment process on the back end, making it a more streamlined process for both the appointing bodies and the citizens who are serving. Originally, our administration had planned on utilizing our partner WNIN to tape and store video from those meetings. However, our new CIO has found a more cost-effective option to pursue. By combining this function with the previously mentioned board commission portal, the features are easily accessible and very exciting. Some of the functionality includes importing agendas and indexing of video in real time, proactively informing citizens with agendas for the meetings, and maximizing public access with a searchable, integrated public record. WNIN will still air the meetings on their channel, but will not store video on their website. The video of meetings will be accessible through the City of Evansville's website going forward. These initiatives are exciting, and as we've learned from Voice, citizens want to see projects and initiatives that they are connected with, that they can help facilitate, that are innovative, inclusive, engaged, and I believe these new initiatives fit that model. As Voice has been a success in all accounts, the big action meetings, or the BAMs, are scheduled to take part over the next few weeks. Our first one is tomorrow night, actually. The ideas and brainstorming from over 2,000 individuals have resulted in real, tangible ideas that are being put into action all over our city. Looking forward, we believe that another service provided by Granicus, that's the company that's doing the information access and board portal for us, is ideal to the next phase of Voice. While our Citizens Concern portal handles citizen complaint, the new engagement tool called Speak Up has been used by cities around the country to further engage their citizens online. This new program will let citizens share ideas for community feedback, recognize ideas and gain feedback, make participation in public forums more simple and productive. The bottom line is that we are going to increase citizen engagement by the new commission board portal, by the streaming of the board and commission meetings online, and the new online engagement. And lastly, let me touch on public safety. Perhaps you've heard about ShotSpotter. This is something that's in our CIP. This is a device that is being used by a growing number of cities around the country. In fact, our friends in Grand Rapids will roll out this very program this fall. This is a gunshot censoring system designed to locate where shots are fired. It's guaranteed to have an accuracy from within 10 yards of where the shot was actually fired. Information will be transmitted to officers in less than 1 minute of detection. And the system will be able to detect all kinds of different calibers of weapons, and it will be able to distinguish from a dumpster lid being slammed to an actual gunshot. But we're very excited about the implementation of ShotSpotter and believe it can help our police department in its fight against crime in our city. Well, 2015 is going to be an exciting year. Now I'd like to introduce City Controller Russ Lloyd, who will take over from here. Throughout this process, it's my hope that the leadership and other members of the council will work cooperatively with our administration, as I said earlier, to again build a 2015 budget that keeps our city moving forward and also being responsible based on the means that we have before us. Thanks for the effort that you're going to put forward in the coming weeks, and we look forward to working with you. Thank you.